Welcome to the 5th episode of the Mondays Kept Me Fat podcast, where diets happen on Mondays, but real live change happens today. I'm your host, Nurse Kevin, a registered nurse of 25 years, and I'm a real guy with 100 starts and 99 quits. This is a podcast about change, and over the next 3 podcast episodes, we're going to talk about the big question when it comes to weight loss and gaining health, the why question. We're going to discover what other people think about me. Not me personally, but you. I worry about what people think about me, and I'm sure deep down you do too. And if you're saying you don't, let's talk a little bit at the end of this episode. What we're going to do is start this week right off, and I'm going to share with you my approach to losing weight and keeping it off. I have found that there are 3 aspects to a total health paradigm shift. The first one is a mental change. If you change your brain, you're going to change your life. The second one is spiritual. If you can look at postponing pleasure, not denying it, but postponing it, and enduring a bit of discomfort now in order to enjoy those benefits later. That's your spiritual goals. Your physical aspect, this third aspect of a total health paradigm shift, comes after training your brain and starting to listen to your heart. This is when the physical changes start to happen, and they'll happen automatically. They will. Maybe by focusing on what we can't eat and how much we have to exercise, we're looking at the physical aspect of our weight loss goals, and we're ignoring the real reason why we just can't seem to lose weight. Maybe the real reason is the mental and spiritual aspect of health and weight loss. What if we focus less on the physical part, not focus, but less focus, and focus a little bit more on the mental and spiritual parts? Maybe we'll get a different outcome. Over the next few weeks and months, we're going to talk about how changing the way you feel and perceive the world around you will transpire in the way you look and maybe even your body shape. Don't think for one moment that what you feel emotionally will not transpire in how you feel and look physically. After all, does a runaway episode of anxiety result in that person feeling ill, maybe even physically becoming sick? How about the way mad people look compared to happy people? There's a lot of people that are very content and yet happy with life. And then there's those people that just seem to be mad all the time. I'm not talking about thin people and overweight people. I'm talking about angry people who are more angry than they're happy. People who have lived their whole lives like they're constantly sitting on a burr in their saddle. They physically look different. You can see them in a crowd. They look different. Now, when I say different, I mean different from other people who have lived their lives mainly happy, where they have a better outlook on life. They're friendly, forgiving, and just downright happy as a lark. People who live happier, you know what I mean, they just live happier, look differently than folks that just seem all fit to be tied all the time. The way we think, feel, and perceive has everything to do with how our body heals, feels, and even looks. You'll find I'll talk a lot about the mental and spiritual aspects of health and weight loss on this website and podcast. It's not just about willpower. I'm not going to preach willpower all the time. There is some aspect to willpower that we need to endure. But I'm not going to talk about willpower as being the ultimate thing that we need to have in order to lose weight. What I'm going to share with you are the perspectives that I've learned over my life that have helped me not only lose weight, we all know how to do that, but how to keep it off. Keeping it off is the hard part. If you think about it, isn't it strange how we look at our weight loss goals on the first side of it and we feel excited, we feel happy, we feel encouraged, and then just a few weeks, sometimes days later, we're asking ourselves why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Wouldn't it be easier just to be a little chubby and live the way that we are now? Just give up a little bit, right? Let that go. Who cares about what other people think? Sure, in some ways, shedding that burden of this constant guilt from eating, quote, bad foods or missing an exercise session, relieving yourself of that burden of feeling like I've done bad today. Wouldn't that feel great? Then on the other side, you're still stressed about health issues, either the ones that you are struggling with now or the ones that will come because you're not healthy and you're overweight. Then that worry will turn into guilt, maybe even a bit of shame, or maybe perceived shame. But shame from whom? Yes, we need to ask that question. We're thinking we're shamed, but we really don't care what other people think. Think about that concept real quick. It's hard to wrap your brain around it. For example, have you ever asked yourself, why do I want to lose weight and be healthy? That seems like an easy question to answer, but think about it real quick. Why do you want to lose weight and be healthy? That why question often ends up with answers like, so I can be there for my kids, or so I can fit in that bathing suit this summer, or maybe deep down and definitely unspoken, so I can be appreciated, so I can be respected, so I can be loved, maybe so I can be desired. Notice the words I used: appreciated, respected, loved, desired. Those are words that require someone else's participation. Those are words about what other people think about us. They are dependent on the other person's perspective of you. Here's a secret. You are 100% and totally not in control of another person's perspective. You can influence that perspective, that's true, but you're not totally in control of their perspective. That is dependent on their lifetime of that person's experiences. Still, we want to lose weight because maybe we really and truly care about what other people think about us. Yes, despite the memes that shout, who cares about what they think? Live your life the way you want to live it. We deep down really care about what other people are thinking about us, either actually thinking about us or what we perceive they are thinking about us. We care about how we look to others when we're in our bathing suit. We care about how we look to others when we're trying to hide our fat parts in our clothing. Don't believe me? Have you ever asked someone, or even the mirror, does this make my butt look too big? The problem is this. If we're setting out on a path to lose weight and find our healthy, and we are doing it for other people, then when these people let us down, we may find ourselves going through a quit. But still, that does not exclude the feeling that we really deep down care about what others think about us. But wait, are they really thinking about us? Sure they are, but not in the way you think they are. Now, I'm going to leave it at that for this week, and we're going to pick it up next week. This is the end of part 1 of a 3-part series. And next week, I'm going to tell you about a boy and his tough-skinned Sears Roebuck blue jeans. And I want to tell you about this little fella who wore those blue jeans that were advertised to be dang near indestructible. They were sold for the active boy. They were sold for the boy that needs jeans that, quote, fit you. It's sort of an oxymoron, the active boy that needs jeans to fit him. Think about it real quick. Maybe they're sold under the parents' hope that her son who needs these jeans to fit you will become active. We'll see how that turns out next week. If you've enjoyed this podcast, then subscribe. We're getting more and more listeners every single week. Visit us over at mondayskeepmefat.com and sign up for Nurse Kevin's No Spam newsletter. There is no account to set up for. All we'll do is send you an update when updates are available, just like that. Hey, today is Monday. If you are doing a fresh start today, then awesome. If you're continuing a fresh start from last Thursday, then awesome. But one thing that I know for sure, you have started, and this time next week, you'll be glad you started. You'll be glad you started now than starting then. You will have bumps in the road this week. They'll happen. It's okay. Just keep on keeping on. Today, Monday, may be your start. But when this Monday is said and gone and you find Tuesday, then Tuesday will be your start. Change is not found on Mondays. Change is found every day. So if you have a hiccup today, then pick yourself up and don't wait until next Monday to get started. Start back now. Waiting on Mondays kept me fat, and they'll keep you fat too. Diets happen on Mondays. Real change happens today.
You did great!
On to the next quest!